Hey, everybody, welcome back. I know it's a couple days after Christmas. It's December 27th, but we can talk about Jesus for a few more minutes. Have you ever thought about what it was like when Jesus left his throne to enter into the womb of Mary? Now, the Bible doesn't give us any kind of specifics or tell us exactly what it was like, but I've seen enough science fiction movies, and I'm pretty sure there was like quantum speed, hypersonic lines as he's flying through space to enter into her womb. Okay, maybe not, but I don't know what it would be like, but I know it is a long way to travel. Think about the distance that is. Not maybe in length, but just maybe distance in glory. So Jesus on his throne in heaven, creator of all things were made by him and for him and through him. So Jesus is fully understood. The angels know exactly who he is. He is fully worshiped and he is never misunderstood. Everybody knows everything that he's saying. And then he leaves all of that glory, that safety. He's never experienced pain, physical pain. He's never had to deal with the things that us human beings deal with. And he enters into the womb of Mary. Now, this is childbirth in the first century. There's no hospital or doctor that he's going to, and Joseph is there, but I know I was no help when my children were being born. I'm just like, you're doing a great job. I imagine Joseph wasn't too much more of help. So Mary, she's on her own. She's in an inn, and she's giving birth. It's painful and confusing from the mother and the child as the child is entering this new world. So Jesus enters our world amongst the blood and pain of childbirth. He has to cry when he's hungry, and God himself soils himself. That's a far cry from where he was on his throne, fully understood, needed nothing. Now, if he's hungry, he has to scream at the top of his lungs so that Mary can nurse him. That's a pretty far distance to travel. Now, we will travel great distances for the ones that we love. And the reason that God had to travel so far is because we were so far from him. When I was young, I would go to Switzerland. My dad was a missionary, and we got the chance to go to Grindelwald, Switzerland every year. And it was a youth camp. And so there were youth girls there. And there was one youth girl in particular, Mandy. I had the biggest crush on Mandy. Mandy's dad was in the army and stationed overseas, so I would only see her once a year during the summer. But in between, I would write letters, and I would let her know how great it was to see her, how much I look forward to seeing her again. I was crazy about Mandy. And then she moved to the States. I had my chance. So I saved up all the money that I could. I flew to where she was living now, and I was so excited. I mean, in my mind, I might even propose on this trip. Sure, I'm like 19 years old and know nothing, but I just had a feeling this was the one. And when I finally arrive, she's there at the airport to greet me, and she introduces me to, you guessed it, her boyfriend. See, I had traveled a great distance to show my love, only to be introduced to her other love. And sometimes I feel like this is what Jesus must feel like. He traveled this great distance, leaving his throne and glory to enter into our disgusting little world and deal with all the confusion and chaos that we create. The blood and pain of childbirth and the blood and pain of crucifixion, those are the bookends for our Messiah. And he shows that he traveled this great distance, and the first thing that we do is we introduce him to our other loves. This is what idolatry is Jesus traveling a great distance. We go, oh, so nice of you to be here. Have you met money? I love money, right? So though the holiday is over, spend a little bit of time thinking about the distance that Jesus traveled. Some of you might be traveling back from seeing loved ones. And you might have driven 8, 10, 12 hours, and you do so because you love them. Nobody can traverse a greater distance than Jesus Christ, who left glory and entered humanity. And he did it because he loved you. Merry Christmas. Don't forget to check out Dog Backwards Podcast on iTunes, Apple Podcast, Google Play, whatever. It's everywhere. Or go to the YouTube channel, YouTube.com/Dog Backwards Podcast. Like and subscribe. Hope you all had a great Christmas and a Happy New Year.